do you rely on? Are you a lone wolf? In high school, I joined the drama club. Now, I think one of the reasons that I joined was my older sister was always in acting or improv or theater or a part of a band where she would sing. And so somewhere in my mind, I thought, if I could also do this, then maybe I would be cool in my older sister's eyes. And so I joined the drama club. And this one time we were putting on this show for a Remembrance Day themed General Assembly. So we're practicing for this show. There are risers in the back of the stage. Me and a couple of other people are standing on them, while these two other kids in the front are acting out a moment where a Nazi soldier comes to the door. The mom opens the door and the Nazi soldier gives her a letter of enlistment for her son. And I'm in the back on one of the risers, and I'm supposed to be one of those Nazi soldiers. Explain to me how that makes any sense. And so the scene starts, and the soldier hands over the letter. All the soldiers are supposed to do the hand thing, and it's punctuated by that kind of intense music like da, da, da. Like, I think back and I go, how did we get away with this? I mean, it was crazy. And then the lights go out, and we're all supposed to get into our next spot for the next scene. Well, in the dark, I misstepped. And I fell off the riser. And all I remember are stars bursting in front of my eyes and the loud bang of me unceremoniously hitting the riser and then the floor. And the lights go back on in a hurry. And there I am, trying desperately not to cry, as everyone's like, oh my gosh, what happened? Are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. I wouldn't accept the help of anybody because I was so embarrassed. I didn't want to have to rely on anyone, because then in relying on them, I'd have to tell them what happened. I didn't want to do that. So there was nothing else to be done. And let's just say that drama club for me, I don't remember anything else that I did or anything else that happened outside of that. All I remember is immediately after doing the Heil Hitler gesture, I fell and it was the worst. And the truth was I really did need help, but I didn't want to be vulnerable because I was afraid. Maybe you can relate. Maybe you're afraid of relying on others. You're afraid of being let down, or that maybe people will make fun of you or be ruthless with you. One scripture that comes to mind is in 1 John 1, 5-7. It says that God is light. In him there is no darkness. And if we claim to have fellowship with God, but we walk in the dark, we lie, we don't live by the truth. But if we walk in the light, as he is in the light, we have fellowship with one another, and the blood of Jesus purifies us from all sin. Looking back on that situation, I realized a couple of things. I was, yes, physically in the dark, but really it serves for me now as a spiritual example. I was spiritually in the dark. And at the time I was involved in all kinds of sin. And I didn't know it, but as a result, I was staggering around in the dark. And so of course I got banged up emotionally and was afraid to rely on people, because there were people in my life that were also wandering around in the dark. And when I became a Christian, I had to think differently. Another scripture that comes to mind is in 1 Thessalonians 5, 5-6. It says, you're all sons of light. And when we become Christians, we don't belong to the darkness anymore. We gotta be alert and self-controlled so that we can see clearly as Christians. And I had to give up my inability to rely on others, my fear of rejection or being taken advantage of, and I had to rely on God, but I also had to learn to rely on others, because you can't live the Christian life on your own. But why is it scary? Because the light magnifies our weaknesses, but it also gives us the opportunity to turn those weaknesses into strengths. If this video has helped you at all, please feel free to like it. Please feel free to share it. If you want a deeper Bible study, please reach out to me, get in touch, come to church with me, let's study the Bible. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.